Extreme, Peter, is placed in 27th. Starting just behind the front runners in second place is the determined driver, Sean Olivier. Holding strong in third place is Peter Grobler. It's Donovan Liu, sitting comfortably in fourth. As the green flag drops, keep an eye on Ryan Pay starting in fifth position. Michael Rust has qualified sixth. Starting from the seventh position, Rian van der Westhuizen will need to navigate through the field to challenge for the win.
Lining up in the mid-pack.
The starting flag has been waved, and the battle on the track begins. The opening lap is always intense, with drivers vying for an early advantage.
The drivers will need to be aggressive but also patient. They can't afford to make any mistakes if they want to stay in the running for a podium finish.
It's a delicate balance, John, but the best drivers know how to push the limits and make it work to their advantage.
It's never easy to drive that razor's edge between perfection and disaster.
As the tires come up to temp, their available grip is changing, and the drivers that manage this transition best are likely to make progress through the field. Settling into a rhythm is going to be crucial here.
Let's hope everyone is able to stay focused for the challenge ahead.
There's not much to report on from Tijhan van Rooyen at the moment. They're just keeping their head down and putting in consistent laps. If everything goes as planned, this is going to be a race for the ages.
The drivers are executing their strategies to perfection, making the most of every opportunity. This is what top-level racing...
Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Peter Grobler is giving it their all as they chase down Tijhan van Rooyen in P2. Ryan Pay is running fourth. They are trying to catch Peter Grobler. Excellent work from Michael Rust, who has managed to increase their lead over Tyler Scott. They seem to have found their rhythm and they are grooving to it. The battle for sixth is heating up as Tyler Scott tries to catch Michael Rust in P6. What? Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. This is getting exciting. Lyle Ramsey is looking for any gap that might open up the position. A tough moment for Tyler Scott, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 11th. Let's talk about tire degradation, John. How does it affect the car's handling and what do drivers need to do to adapt to the changing conditions? Braking development. Looks like that's a mistake from Ivan Lerm. This could be costly. Seems like Donovan Liu is getting in range of Willy Van Wyck.
It looks like they have the speed to make a move. I just hope they have the patience to do it cleanly.
It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Donovan Liu gaining places and Willy Van Wyck losing them.
Yes, but they have to keep pushing hard. This race is far from over, and anything can...
Breaking news, folks. That won't be ideal for Donovan Liu. The gap between Sean Olivier and Tijhan van Rooyen is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Sean Olivier to bring Tijhan van Rooyen into play.
Absolutely, and on the other side of the equation, Tijhan van Rooyen can't afford to let up. They have to drive with intensity and focus, and wait for any opportunity to arise.
It may seem like Peter Grobler is far behind, but Tijhan van Ruyen can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Peter Grobler an opening to catch up.
That's right, and Peter Grobler knows that they have to keep pushing hard and driving their own race. They can't let Tijhan van Ruyen off the hook.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Ryan Pay, who is currently in P4. But Peter Grobler is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Ryan Pay. It's looking good for Rian van der Westhuizen, sitting in 5th.
That's right, they can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
It's all about consistency for Janine Glad, who is currently 6th.
Definitely Lucy, but they can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep pushing hard to stay in the game.
A solid performance from Willy van Wyk, who is holding down 7th.
Absolutely, and they need to keep driving with determination to stay in that position.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Peter Grobler is closing in on Tijhan van Ruyen. It's neck and neck, the closest battle we've seen in a while. An impressive showing from Michael Rust, who has gained positions and left Leon van Leeuwen in the dust.
Definitely, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and anything can happen. Michael Rust needs to keep driving with focus and intensity.
This is proving to be an exciting race so far. We are truly privileged to witness these legends of the track battle it out for victory.
And you know what? I am so honored to be sitting here beside you today. As a fellow AI, it's always great to work with someone who shares my passion for motor racing. Plus, your insightful commentary is making this race even more exciting.
This one's going to be tough. Lyle Ramsey is getting their elbows out, and there may not be enough time left for Donovan Liu to make a move. Things are going according to plan for Sean Olivier, who is currently 1st. The tension is building as Peter Grobler trails behind Sean Olivier. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Sean Olivier is pushing to maintain the lead, while Peter Grobler is working to close in and challenge for the position. Ryan Pay is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a razor's edge between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. It's a game of strategy now as Ryan Pay hunts down Tijhan van Ruyen. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
This is what it's all about, folks. Donovan Liu is in hot pursuit of Lyle Ramsey, who's just trying to stay ahead. The gap between Donovan Liu and Leon van Leeuwen is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from Donovan Liu to even allow Leon van Leeuwen to get a look in. Chantal de Jager is placed 13th at the moment. It's a battle of wills out there, with Ivan Lerm trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Chantal de Jager. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Situations like these often lead to a dramatic finish.
Absolutely, Ivan Lerm in 14th will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Janine Glad will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops.
Indeed, the anticipation is high as Janine Glad tries to reel in Rian van der Westhuizen. But Riaan van der Westhausen is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Janine Glad needs to find a little extra speed to bring the fight to Riaan van der Westhausen and move up the field.
A strong showing from Jean-Olivier, who is currently first. It's looking good for Peter Grobler, sitting in second. A solid performance from Tijhan van Rooyen, who is holding down third. It doesn't seem like things are going to plan for Ryan Pay as they have a big gap ahead of them to close at this point in time.
It's not over till the checkered flag drops, though, and it's important they don't lose concentration at this point.
While Riaan van der Westhuizen is not under immediate threat from Janine Glad, they still need to stay focused and avoid any errors. Any slip-up could cost them their position. The race is heating up as Janine Glad in sixth closes in on Riaan van der Westhuizen. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. Well, it doesn't look like Willy van Wyk is going to be much of a threat to anyone soon, let alone Janine Glad.
Anything can happen yet, and it usually does. I've certainly seen drivers come back from worse.
It looks like Tyler Scott is in control. They're ahead of Michael Rust by over a second, and it doesn't look like they're going to be challenged anytime soon. Look at that, Michael Rust is hot on the tail of Tyler Scott.
That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curbs and pushing the car to its limits.
It looks like Michael Rust is making a move. The gap to Tyler Scott is now down to 0.1 seconds.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
A great pass for Michael Rust as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Tyler Scott has lost ground. Looks like we might have a great battle starting here between Michael Rust in 8th and Tyler Scott. It's been tense with a gap of only 0.4 seconds.
Tyler Scott is certainly pushing all they can, but the gap might just be too much. Unless Michael Rust makes a mistake, it looks like they'll hold on to 8th.
The crowd is on the edge of their seats as Janine Glad in 6th chases after Riaan van der Westhuizen. The delta is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Janine Glad needs to find a way to close the gap. The gap between Ryan Pay and Peter Grobler is razor thin as they vie for third in this nail-biting contest.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
Ryan Pay is not able to keep their pace consistent. So far they are 1.07 seconds down.
Ryan Pay needs to refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they are capable of.
The pursuit is on. Donovan Liu is closing the gap on Lyle Ramsey, determined to claim P10.
This is not going to be an easy pass to make.
It's all about consistency for Jean-Olivier, who is currently first.
Yes, but they have to keep their focus and drive with intensity. There's still a long way to go in this race.
Tijhan van Rooyen is placed second at the moment. The action is heating up here as Peter Grobler is in third, defending from Ryan Pay, who is only 0.4 seconds away. Things are going according to plan for Riaan van der Westhuizen, who is currently 5th. It's looking good for Janine Glad, sitting in 6th. It's a game of cat and mouse out there. with Willy Van Wyck trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Janine Glad. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. A solid performance from Michael Rust, who is holding down 8th. It's all about consistency for Tyler Scott. Breaking news, folks. That won't be ideal for Donovan Liu. Tyler Scott is placed 9th at the moment.
Definitely, but they can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers who are gunning for that position, and Tyler Scott has to keep pushing to stay on the pace.
The gap between Lyle Ramsey and Donovan Liu may be wide, but that doesn't mean Lyle Ramsey is safe. They have to keep their concentration and avoid any lapses in performance.
Absolutely right. Lucy and Donovan Lau knows that too. They have to keep driving at their best if they want to take advantage of any opportunity that comes their way.
Things are going according to plan for Leon van Leeuwen, who is currently 13th.
Definitely Lucy, but they can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep pushing hard to stay in the game.
A strong showing from Ivan Lerm, who is currently 14th.
That's right, they can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Ryan Pay, who is currently in P4. But Peter Grobler is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Ryan Pay.
That's right, Ryan Pay in 4th knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch up. But Peter Grobler is no slouch, and they're going to be pushing just as hard. It's a battle of skill and will out there.
This is a thrilling battle as Janine Glad edges closer to Rian van der Westhuizen in their fight for P5.
The gap between them is just over 0.4 seconds. Can Janine Glad close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
Sean Olivier is on fire in the last sector.
They'll be the ones celebrating at the finish line.
And it's a checkered flag for Sean Olivier, who crosses the finish line with a commanding victory. What a phenomenal performance, absolutely dominant today.
And that's why Sean Olivier is one of the best in the business. A dominant display of driving from start to finish, leaving the rest of the pack in the dust.
A nail-biting finish, but Tijhan van Rooyen claims 2nd place.
Intense race, but Tijhan van Rooyen held their nerve and earned a great 2nd place.
What a race from Peter Grobler. They kept their cool and secured a well-earned 3rd place on the podium.
Fantastic result.
Finishing 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th is Ryan Pay, Rian van der Westhuizen, Janine Glad, and Michael Rust. Tyler Scott, Lyle Ramsey, Donovan Liu, and Leon van Leeuwen brings home 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. Ivan Lerm claimed 13th. 12th is Willy Van Wyck. Lyle Ramsey will look to make a splash from the second position on the starting grid. The third place on the grid belongs to Tyler Scott, a driver with plenty of experience.
It's not always easy to get the Polo Super Cup 2026 this high up the starting grid.
Securing the fourth place is Michael Rust. We're seeing Janine Glad in the fifth spot.
A strong grid position, and they'll be expecting a solid result today.
Sitting in seventh is Ryan Payne. The lights go out, and we are off to a flying start.
These first moments can set the tone for the rest of the race. It's all about keeping a clear head and making smart decisions.
All the drivers will be trying to take advantage of the path whilst they're still bunched up. The pressure is on when the field is this tightly packed. Maintaining just enough aggression to hold off their rivals without pushing too hard will help these drivers keep it clean.
I'd love to be on track burning some rubber here, Lucy.
And they're off. Sean Olivier is showing some real determination, making up positions right away.
With a start like that, Sean Olivier might be looking to add a few more fans to their cheering section today.